Shortly after 11 a.m., Angie Pendrick, a good friend of Bobo's, called her at the studio to check in and confirm plans they had made to play tennis that afternoon. Angie detailed the conversation to the Magnolia Banner News, saying, quote, "She said, after answering the phone, that she thought I was the man who was supposed to be calling her. She said that if it was to be the man who was looking at her house. I asked her to come to my house. She said that she would if the man didn't want to see the house right away. I hung up quickly so that she could get her other call." End quote. Around the same time that Angie was on the phone with Bobo, an unidentified man entered the Easy Mart, a convenience store with a drive-through window, then located on the northeast corner of East Main Street and North Dudney Streets, just over half a mile south of the studio. The store was then located directly across Dudney Street from Smitty's grocery store and north across Main Street from a car dealership, Jordan Brothers Pontiac Buick, then at 621 East Main. The unidentified man approached the counter and presented cash, asking the employee to make change for him so he could make a phone call. At 11:15 a.m., a witness who works across the street from the Easy Mart reported seeing the unknown man standing in front of the building using the public payphone. At that same time, the phone began ringing at the art studio and Bobo answered, having a short conversation with a man on the other line before hanging up. She then called Angie back, who noted that Bobo told her that the man had a home and some property outside of town that he was interested in trading for her property on McNeil Street. Angie explained, quote, "She said that his house was 9 miles out on the Taylor Highway. I asked her if she would want a house that far out since it would require so many trips in order to fix it up. She said she might want it for her boyfriend. I think she told me that this man had offered to take a taxi to her studio because his car was in the Pontiac place. She started to tell him to walk across the street and she would meet him at the Easy Mart. She told me that she would be over to my house at 1:30 p.m. if she were through. She never acted as if anything was unusual. She was rushing the conversation and acting as if she was getting ready to leave right away." End quote. At the conclusion of this phone call, Bobo made a statement which, at the time, didn't feel all that urgent, but given what would happen later, has made everyone wonder if perhaps the 25-year-old had some reservations about this potential buyer. Angie would tell authorities that before hanging up the phone, Bobo said, "Come looking for me if I'm not back this afternoon."